Why? Why did the Dodgers part way with prospects that, quite frankly, were not worth the return? Sure, part of it was the sheer necessity for a relief pitcher, but to give up 2 top 30 farm hands, there needed to be a bigger reason. There was. Floro had quietly been one of the game's best pitchers with Cincinnati, and the Dodgers, a team keen on picking up players who shine brightest under the radar, jumped on the opportunity before it was too late. Let's do a quick history lesson first. Dylan Floro was drafted by the Tampa Bay Rays back in 2012 in the 13th round. He was a college player at Cal State Fullerton, and the Rays knew they stole a player with a ton of potential late in the draft. Floro proved it. In his first 3 minor league seasons, he dominated as a starting pitcher, working with a combined 2.71 ERA from 2012-14. In 2015, Floro struggled, but the Rays were not concerned. Struggling is par for the course in baseball. The following year, Floro, a fifth-year pro, made his major league debut. This is where the story truly begins. More from Dodgers Way. Floro played 12 games with the Rays in 2016. He had a 4.20, and for the Rays, there was not enough incentive to keep him around. The Rays sent him down to AAA Durham, where he would play his final few months in the Rays organization. That off-season, he was designated for assignment and claimed quickly by the Cubs. That was on January 11, 2017. Just under a month later, the Cubs DFA'd Floro, who went unclaimed and was sent straight to the Cubs' AAA affiliate in Iowa. He would be there through the start of the season, only to be called up and sent down a total of 5 times before July, the month he would yet again be DFA'd by Chicago. Semi-comatically, it was the Dodgers that claimed Floro from the Cubs, only to DFA him that same August. Floro, who went unclaimed once more, finished out the season with the AAA Oklahoma City Dodgers and elected free agency that off-season. He signed a minor league deal with the Reds. 2 weeks into the young 2018 season, Floro was called up. He came, he saw, and he conquered. In 25 games and 36.1 innings, Floro had a 2.75 ERA and a 181 ERA. He was dominating, but nobody knew about him. Re-enter the Dodgers. The team's bullpen was getting torn apart. Daniel Curcina was pitching from the pen for the boys and blew alongside Wilmer Font and Brock Stewart. Yimi Garcia got hurt, and the Dodgers badly needed another reliever. They went and got Floro, for the second time, for a price that was arguably too high. It was from here that Dylan Floro became the quietest best reliever in baseball. Floro was amazing with the Reds. No doubt about it. In xwOBA, a stat used to measure the on-base average of a player based on how hard a ball was hit as well as how valuable the action was to get the player on base, Floro ranked in the top 14.8% of Major League Baseball pitchers, both starters and reliever, in that metric. But his time in Los Angeles vaulted the more or less unknown reliever to the top of the charts. By season's end, Floro had an xwOBA of .254, the 17th best mark in baseball. That's 17th out of 274, by the way. Floro was in the top 6% of all pitchers in that stat, 4 positions better than third-place Cy Young finisher Aaron Nola. In expected slugging percentage against, a statistic that works in the same fashion to xwOBA, Floro finished the season ranked 13th of 274 pitchers, the top 4.7% of the league, in one spot lower than Cy Young winner Jacob deGrom. You read that correctly. Dylan Floro, the reliever the Dodgers acquired on the 4th of July, is very much in the same conversation as Jacob deGrom. Amongst relievers, Floro was 22nd of 191 in left on-base percentage, stranding 83.3% of runners against him, and he also ranked in the top 2% of pitchers in percentage of balls barreled up at just 2.6%. You could argue that it was a fluke, sure. But when a player posts numbers this high, I prefer to look at it like he set a ceiling. Floro's 241 era with the Dodgers suggests he is capable of massive production, and even if he cuts the number in half in 2019, the Dodgers will still have an ultra-productive middle relief option. Floro's regression in 2019 would drop him back from elite and amongst the very best in the league to an extremely solid reliever. If you at .030 to his ex-WOBA, Floro ranks 69th in the league, tied with James Paxton and a pitcher who utterly tortured the Dodgers in Nathan Eovaldi. Next, Dodgers backup infielder options. For the Dodgers bench, Floro was a statistical juggernaut in 2018. He set personal highs by light years, and he developed into one of Dave Roberts' most trusted relievers. When the Dodgers made the trade for the pitcher you had never heard of last July and parted ways with prospects you did not want to see go, there was a reason. Floro seized every opportunity to prove it.